Hello and welcome to the Expert Talk with NF Sportec. Today we have with us Mr. Vaibhav Garg, sports nutritionist. He works with international athletes, has been involved with events like IPL. He's also done Super Fight League in the past. And he obviously, he's worked with the top international players, and he's also a practitioner. He advises people on health, nutrition, and also metabolic disorders. So his session is definitely going to be insightful. I do want to remind my viewers here that if you have questions, please write them in the comment section. We would like to take them sometime in between the session. Okay, I had mentioned in my previous episode that we as a society are looking for quick fix solutions for most of our health related issues. If there is someone is obese, we want to quickly lose weight. If we've got a disease, we want to take a pill and just get done with it. With Vaibhav, let us try to disentangle diet and nutrition for a physically active human. Vaibhav, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot, Shikhar. Pleasure to be here.
Okay, my first question to Vaibhav would be, there are various kinds of weight loss techniques out there, Vaibhav, like there is intermittent fasting, there is keto diet, it's a big fad, keto these days. Give us some insights about various ways of how one can lose weight.
Okay, so I think what's important to first understand is that we should neither be overweight nor should we be underweight. If we are on either side of the scale, and basically I'm trying to say if we are not of an ideal weight, clearly we're doing something wrong in our daily routines. Malnutrition is something which we as an urban society do not face the challenge of overcoming. But yes, obesity, being overweight is a big challenge. And all these so-called diets that we speak about, the keto diets, for example, going on calorie deficit diets, for example, these are short fixes. These are basically solutions that are in place to give us quick results. And we as a society, we love quick results, right? Okay. We love it if we just have to do something for a little while and it gives us wonderful results. But you know what the downside is? That unless you adopt a lifestyle or any habit that would yield sustainable results, there's no point doing it at all. Okay? There's no point at all. Doing a ketogenic diet, for example, will have adverse effects on our organs, especially the digestive system, kidney, because the body is not supposed to replace its actual source of fuel, which is carbohydrates, with something else. That's just not how the human body works. It's like telling someone who drives a petrol car that, you know what, there's no petrol available today. Why don't you try putting diesel into it today and make it run? We never do that. Right. So what I'm trying to say is we take more care of our cars nowadays than we do of our bodies.
Right. Sure.
So that's something we definitely have to avoid, following these so-called short-term diet plans. We need to look at a sustainable solution. And that would mean altering a lot of things in our daily routine, sleeping properly, being physically active, being mindful in our thoughts so that we can channelize our stress a little better. Food obviously is a very big part of it, which I look into. And eating healthy again is very vague. It's a very vague term. For you, healthy might be something. For me, healthy could mean something else. So following a scientific plan, science-based nutrition is basically what I focus on. So it's very important that you eat something that's meant for you, that's meant for the human body, and not only something that the industry is trying to promote.
I see.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I was just taking a question while you were away. So there's a guy, Sainath asks that his weight was 77. He's managed to get to 69, but he's now plateaued. So what does one do in such a scenario? And it's a very common thing, people do find, that they've been working out for a while, and after a point, results stop to show. So what does one do in such scenarios?
So first of all, what we need to do is stop chasing weight loss. Okay.
Very valid point. Very
If he's at 77 and he's reached 69, first of all, you need to understand what is your body capable of attaining. Some people try to attain a weight which they've never had in their entire lives. So I'm referring to people maybe who are slightly on the heavier side. Let's say, for example, the lightest someone has been in their adult life is maybe a 70 kilos. If they aspire to be a 60, 65 kilos, that's something that you're trying to do against what your body can handle.
Right. That's
So
unhealthy also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can achieve it. There are ways. Okay, we know techniques wherein we can help people lose 4 to 5 kilos.
In fact, later in the session, I would like to ask you about how boxers manage their weight in such short periods. So we'll speak about that. Yeah, go on, please.
Yeah, and that's not. And trust me, had their profession not demanded that, that would never be their first option. Similarly, we should adopt practices where we're chasing weight loss. We should chase fat loss for sure, because excess fat in the body is not advisable, because it comes with a host of problems related to the heart, blood pressure, sugar levels. We obviously should chase fat loss, but like I said, in a sustainable way. So we should, instead of trying to cut back on the calories, do overtraining, which is again very stressful for the human body, let's try and first get everything in order. Like I said, get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep, for example, eat highly fibrous food, stop falling for the industry fads that you need to consume a lot of meats and proteins in order to get weight loss. No, it doesn't work like that. The human body is a very complex system. You need to understand the science, the physiology of the human body first, and how it works, how it responds to different foods. I mean, you'd be surprised that the body would respond very different to water that has been purified through the UV process versus water that has been purified to the reverse osmosis process.
Wow.
So you have to get down to those little details. So if you plateaued, one, maybe your body is not able to attain that weight, but secondly, you're just following some usual industry fads that are in place right now, and you need an overall of what you're doing currently.
Right. So he would need personalized attention, perhaps, and also some professional guidance.
Yes. Right. If we fall sick, we just don't follow general guidelines that are available on the internet, right? We would meet a physician.
Unless it is coronavirus.
I'm sorry?
Unless it is coronavirus, which nobody knows what to do about.
Absolutely. The term positive has just taken all new meaning for us.
Wow. Absolutely. Positive is no more positive. Anyway, so before you had left, talking about Hi, Vaibhav. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I am there. I think there is some network issue at your end.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good now. Sorry. There was a call between. Yeah. So I was saying that were you aspiring to be a cricketer at some point?
Well, honestly speaking, growing up when we were in school, everyone aspires to be a cricketer, especially if you're an Indian. Sure. Yes, but that's not something I really took up at all. I mean, I definitely thought about it. It would have been great if I could have made a shot. But
tell us about your journey from what you studied and to sports nutrition, or was it something that you had set your eyes on reasonably early on in your study?
Honestly, this was never planned. There was one thing though that made it very easy for me, is that I was always inclined towards being fit and healthy. I was an athlete, from my school days. I was active in track and field. I used to play cricket.
Interesting.
After college as well, I played cricket very actively. When I was studying in England, I played a little bit of club cricket as well. So I was very inclined towards being healthy, and my motivation was that I had to perform well in my games, in my matches, and I could only do that if I ate correctly and if I exercised enough. Because if I did not do those things correctly, I couldn't expect myself to perform at. I think we lost you again.
There was something in between. Yeah. Sorry about that.
So I was saying,
can you hear me now?
I can hear you. So the transition just happened very naturally for me. Originally I am someone who's from an engineering background, but then I studied things like biomedical and biotechnology. So it made it easier for me to transition into this field. But
Okay.
it just happened for me, and I love what I do. I love sharing my experiences with people. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. My next question was you already mentioned early in this talk that there are these industry products, mass-produced whey proteins, protein bars, BCAAs. Uh, my first question would be, are there natural alternatives to these, so to say, artificial supplements?
I think the real question to ask there first is, do we even need them? Because if we did not
Okay.
need them in the first place, we don't need to look for alternatives.
Okay. That's a valid
Okay.
point.
So
Yeah.
the fitness industry primarily works on fear. They create
Hmm.
the fear. Anyone who's been to a gym knows that the first thing the trainer asks them is, are you taking any protein supplements? Whether you go there for weight gain, for weight loss, whether you are diabetic or not, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
I have had clients come to me who have been vegetarian their entire lives. They've been converted to non-vegetarianism by their fitness trainers. They've been made to consume.
I'm really sorry, Vaibhav. This happens with Instagram sometimes because the telecom network is on, and once a call comes, then it goes away. I'm sorry. Go on,
Uh,
please.
okay. Yes. Yeah, where was I? So I've had people, who've originally been vegetarian, and they
Okay.
started their fitness journeys in the gyms, and the trainers have converted them to non-vegetarianism, forced them,
Hmm.
to have
I've
these
heard
protein
that story
supplements
also. Yes, yes, that
with the
happens.
promise that they will lose weight, they'll help them reverse their diabetic conditions. I once had a client come to me who was a dental surgeon, and
Okay.
his sugar levels were pretty high, touching 200.
Hmm.
He came to me after a year of going to the gym regularly, and he said, "I did everything my gym trainer told me. I'm a Gujarati vegetarian my entire life. I'm eating chicken now. Now I'm taking whey protein supplements, and my
Oh
sugar shot up
God.
to 300 now." I said, "That's because you followed the advice of someone who has zero knowledge when it comes to
Yeah,
nutrition."
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, gym trainers barely know about, body mechanics. Forget about nutrition and, these are
Yeah.
complex subjects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to a typical fitness trainer in Delhi NCR, I'd say if you mention the word body mechanics, they'd have to ask you to repeat. What did you just say? A lot of these words are alien to them. So see,
Right.
see, so they're great at what they do. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
absolutely.
But their
Absolutely.
expertise lies in exercise. They
Correct.
understand exercise.
Yeah, they should
Let them
not
focus on that.
vertically integrate into something.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I never advise people on what exercises need to be done. They ask me that, okay, doc, you gave me nutrition advice. Why don't you give me a plan for exercise? I tell them, you know what? That's not my forte. I will not like to tell you what I do for myself because I just do it because that's the knowledge I have. But that's not what something I would like to you to
Yeah,
implement.
appreciate it. Yeah,
So
sure.
coming back to that, yes. So first of all, there is this big fact that we need excess protein to be able to get good results. No, that is not
Hmm.
true. Second, we need to consume proteins mainly from non-vegetarian sources to get our proteins, and vegetarians cannot get enough. Again, not true. People who
Okay.
live a vegetarian or a vegan kind of lifestyle can get enough proteins from their diet because we actually do not need the kind of protein that the industry wants us to consume. If they do not
Hmm.
tell you that you need to consume 2 to 3 times your body weight, how will you go out and buy those protein supplements?
So you're saying
Kind
that
of
the formula of two times your body weight is not true. It's
no,
not. Oh,
no.
interesting.
If you want to go into competitions and if you want to bulk up like our friendly fitness trainers, yeah, then you can really up the protein intake. But most of the people are not looking for that. They just want to stay healthy. They
Correct.
want to
Yeah.
ensure that they're active, they sleep well,
Yeah.
the body mechanics are in place, joint mobility is there, they can run if they
Hmm.
want, they can play with their kids, they can,
Yeah, you have
they
to
can
be
do
functional with your body. You don't need
the
to
body.
show it off. It's not a Mercedes that you're
Exactly.
walking
For
with.
me, the real definition of a healthy body is one which is functionally fit. Okay,
Very
your
valid.
blood
Yeah.
reports must indicate that you are in a good condition. right? And please do not fall. I like this is mass psychology. Don't fall for mass psychology. Don't do what people are doing left, right, and
Hmm.
center. The
Hmm.
facts in place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information to be had. You can consult someone. You can speak to people who adopted good practices.
Okay. Right. Okay. This is a very popular question. I am I mean, I lead a sedentary lifestyle, you know. Either I'm a student who's preparing for some exams, so, you know, I'm probably sitting on my table 8, 10 hours studying. Or I'm a corporate professional. I'm going to work spending, again, 10 to 12 hours, including travel and all of that, and zero exercising. I'm overweight. I need to lose 10 kgs. How do I do it?
Hmm. So again, I think you've covered everything we've spoken about right now. First of all, let's not chase weight loss. Okay. You mentioned the reasons for the weight gain. You said sedentary lifestyle, okay,
Yeah.
in which you're not active, you're skipping your meals, for example, you're not disciplined. So
Hmm.
let's start from the top. What's the first and foremost, the most important thing? Maintaining discipline.
Hmm.
And why can we not maintain discipline for our daily lifestyles if we can maintain discipline in our professional lives? Everyone maintains a log, a journal. They list out what they need to do, what tasks they have, be it a business owner or be it someone who's employed. We all have discipline. If there's no discipline, we can't deliver results in the workplace. Similarly, you need to do that for yourself. Okay. And what are the things you need to look off first? Get your sleep in place, eat in a timely manner, stop eating out, start eating homemade food, exercise a little bit regularly. If you have these
Hmm.
four things in place, you'll be surprised by the end of 3, 4 weeks, you'll be a few kgs down automatically.
Hmm.
So get those things in place first, and don't blame the fact that you're eating a lot of food. I'm sure people are eating a lot of food, and it's mainly junk food, because there is only a capacity, there's only a limit to which someone can overeat. If my basal metabolic rate says I need to consume 2,000 calories, even to consume 2,500 calories is going to take a big deal for me to do that. It's just that we consume a lot of refined foods, processed foods, maida, okay, a lot of sugar, for example, a lot of acidic foods that we are dependent on nowadays, like caffeine, and
Hmm.
then obviously consuming the so-called delicious non-vegetarian foods. These are all ill habits people need to get away from.
You've turned vegan, I read some time
It's
ago.
been a while now, actually. I was struggling with my own set of, injuries. Actually, never had health
Okay.
issues, touch wood, but a lot of injuries growing up. I mean, I've damaged both knees, both ankles. I've broken my wrists, my fingers. Playing sports, and recovery always was a big problem.
Okay.
Inflammation. It seemed as if the inflammation in the joints remained for years and years.
Okay.
I was a vegetarian, so I predominantly gave up dairy, and I saw massive changes
Oh,
just in a few months. And then there was no looking back, honestly. It was very easy. You know,
interesting.
in 6, 7 years now, I mean, I've not consumed dairy. Meat obviously was never on my plate. Yeah.
Hmm. But so dairy means that you would have to replace cheese also with some other form of protein. So what is that now?
Same question, right? Why do you need the cheese? I never needed the cheese in the first place.
Okay.
That's what the industry makes you think, that you need the cheese, you need to consume that protein. No, the protein that is predominantly there in milk and products like paneer and cheese is casein. The
Okay.
people who are listening in, and maybe you also might be familiar with this term. It is a supplement also that is sold in the market as a
Hmm.
slow digesting supplement protein. Well,
Okay.
truth is that the casein molecule cannot be broken down in the human gut. It is non-digestible. So if we are
Oh.
taking our proteins from milk-based sources, it's kind of pointless to take them, because all it does is make the system highly acidic.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, if I would go deeper into that, the casein, the protein in the milk and the cheese and the paneer actually removes calcium and magnesium from our bones. So while we've been told our entire lives that milk gives us calcium, the scientific truth is that milk actually reduces calcium from our bones.
Wow. That makes me just that just spins my head. I mean, I thought I was reasonably aware about nutrition and what I eat. This is
Half,
just
you need to understand what we follow. See, the human mind is very easy to convince. Okay, marketers need to make an advertisement colorful, throw in a celebrity there, uh, just hold. We really don't get into the
yeah.
details of
And we
half the
as a race, I
advertisement.
think if something is popular, we think that that's correct. I mean, populist opinion and trying not to be political here, but that's, I mean, people think that that's the right thing.
People love being part of something new. It's like a fashion statement.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
So
Okay. Yeah.
that's the problem actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Vaibhav, you're also a metabolic disorder expert.
Mm-hmm.
Um, please tell us a little about how does one, because I personally also, in fact, most of us at some point in life do face issues with digestion, metabolic rate getting slower as we age. And I would say from personal experience, when I was 20, I would lose weight faster and, I'd be able to consume a lot of food and then, also burn it much more easily than I would now, as I'm, getting towards the worst part of the 20s. So, give us some insights about how you deal with your patients in a more generic form.
So, for everyone's knowledge, first of all, what is a metabolic disorder? A metabolic disorder is one, first of all, which you were not born with. Okay, it is
Okay.
something that you develop as a result of your lifestyle over a period of time. Now, this
Okay.
could be something like digestive issues you mentioned.
Hmm.
People have chronic acid problem, for example.
Yeah.
People have constipation issues.
Yeah.
Then we can come to some other common problem like asthma. That's also
Hmm.
metabolic disorder.
Hmm.
Chronic problems would include things like diabetes, heart disease, liver disease. We're not born with these. It's very convenient for people to say that, oh, my cholesterol levels are high, my sugar levels are high. I blame my mom and dad for that. No, it's not their fault.
Oh, it's
You've got
not
something
genetic.
going wrong in your daily routine that has caused you to reach that. Then they say, but my mom and dad also have it. Well, that's because they did not know what to eat and what not to eat. Therefore, they
Hmm.
developed those symptoms. And because you inherit their habits and you inherit whatever they have taught you, hence
Right.
you develop your issues. The
Ah,
problem is not the
okay.
genetic thing. Genes play about only a 20% role in someone inheriting something like a diabetes.
Okay.
Almost 70 to 75% of it is your lifestyle. And then there is a small factor of 5 to 7%, which is the environment, which I'm sorry is totally messed up. Can't help it at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Unfortunately.
So,
But
but
that's something that's out
environments
of your control. So,
is out of our control. So, what is in our control? That's 70%. That's a huge percentage.
sure.
If you check that 70%, you can be rid of any problem. So these are basically metabolic disorders. I have personally dealt with more than 3,000 individuals who are suffering from cancer, asthma, digestive issues, diabetes, heart disease, liver disease, kidney disease, arthritis, hypertension, PCOD, name it. These are all lifestyle disorders. These are all metabolic disorders.
Hmm.
Because they happen due to your lifestyle, you can correct your lifestyle, you can correct your nutritional habits, your food habits, and they can be totally reversed. So that's what basically the area I work on. Besides helping the athletes help get better at their sports.
Right. Okay, we do have quite a few, semi-professional or professional athletes who are either listening right now or going to be listening to us once we finish the session. It's something that, they also struggle with, and of course, a common person also does. When you're traveling or when you have, your routine is such that you invariably would miss meals or not be able to, train the in your regular routine that you would invariably, you tend to gain weight or you tend to, I mean, your health does get affected. So, do you have some suggestion on that point?
See, I understand when you're traveling, your routine would go for a toss.
Yeah,
So even when you're traveling, I'm sure one can, if not, people usually travel for work.
yeah,
If an athlete, see, for an athlete, their work involves eating healthy and exercising, and I mean, so we don't have to worry about them.
No, but with
Uh,
athletes also, like I did not play professionally, but when we were playing junior tennis and we would travel maybe 12, 15 hours, to get to a point. And when you get to a new place, you sometimes do not get practice courts or you do not get, your regular gym to work out at. So you do tend to, get out of your normal routine. And because you're going to play a tournament, so you have to be like on top of your game and all of that, but these things do get uh, you know in between your performance. So how do you I mean, you are working with international athletes and they have a much more regimented and much more um, they've got better facilities around, but
so the
what would be your
problem here
suggestion?
is the problem here is lack of facilities. You mentioned junior tennis. Now, if
Yeah.
I would be to talk about the professionals, they would have time between travels and their games. There would be enough time to
Hmm.
recover, enough time to
Hmm.
rest, enough time to train. So all these things are taken care of. The food is
Sure.
taken care of. The nutritional
Sure.
content is taken care of.
Right.
Unfortunately, for the lesser recognized sports, for example, or sports at the junior level, the facilities are lacking. So,
Hmm.
like you mentioned, for junior tennis, when you were traveling, there were these shortcomings.
Yeah.
One, we need the right kind of coaches to help us guide, to help guide us during such situations. So, if I would talk about the exercise part, you need a physical trainer, a physiotherapist who can ensure that you are match ready. Secondly, there should be someone to guide you on the diet and the food part, again, to ensure that you are match ready.
Yeah.
Because those aspects are lacking, I guess the athletes at the junior level or the semi-pro level, they suffer. All I can say is be more educated, be more informed, talk to people who have adopted good practices and who are good, who maintain a disciplined lifestyle.
Hmm.
They can teach you techniques as to what kind of food needs to be eaten, what kind of exercises can be done when when you're short of facilities. That's the only thing that
Sure.
actually can be done.
Yeah, so you have to make do with what's available and what is in
You
your
have, yeah. I mean,
circle
there
of
is nothing else that
influence.
you can do. I mean, think about it. I mean, when you're there, you'd want to do the best you can for yourself. What is the only thing that would be lacking? See, facilities nahi hai. We know that.
हाँ,
If you had some
बिल्कुल.
knowledge that okay, you know what, I can maybe practice some yoga, work on my flexibility.
Hmm,
Maybe I could do some sprints just to ensure my reflexes are in place. So you
right,
need your coaches to help you through that.
sure. Okay, Vaibhav, on a lighter note, I'd like to ask, you've worked with so many international athletes. Uh, Give us one instance, or maybe you may not want to name them also, but tell us something about an athlete that was very difficult to deal with, or maybe had, nuances that would not get into your in your control, or you couldn't bring them to
Okay,
discipline.
so this was when I was working with one of the MMA fighters. He was from Brazil,
Okay,
and he had a bout after I think 3 days, and his
hmm,
flight got cancelled.
okay,
Okay, so he did not get enough time. He reached very late. For
hmm,
example, he's going to reach tonight, and his bout
hmm,
is day after tomorrow. Whereas he was supposed to reach a day in advance because that would have given him
okay,
a little time to
sure.
recover, to get his weight in check. Because the weight is
And this
a
is
very
outside
important.
of, this is happening in India. He's traveling from Brazil
Yeah,
to
it's
India.
happening in India. He's
So
just
time
come down
zone and
from
all of that
Brazil.
also.
Yeah, he's come down from Brazil and he's in Mumbai, and
Hmm.
he needs to get his weight in check. And the worst part is the man can't speak English, and
Okay.
we don't have a translator.
Okay.
Okay? And it was my job to help that guy lose about 5 kilos
Oh
in
my
24
God.
hours, and with someone who didn't understand English. Yeah. So I sat down with him. Anyway, I sat down with him. I had a little over 24 hours, I think. I
Okay.
sat down with him, and Google Translator was our friend. I
Acha.
typed in English, translated
Beautiful.
to Portuguese. He typed in Portuguese, translated to English for me. We sat down for 2 hours, and we just
Acha.
planned out whatever had to be done. The
Okay.
man fortunately made weight, coming down to his bare necessities. Just
Okay.
managed. And my personal victory there was the next day he was fighting the Indian favorite. He
Okay.
knocked him out in 30 seconds. There was a personal victory for
You
me.
did not do well for the country then.
I wasn't working with that Indian fighter, so I'm fine.
He's bad.
Yeah, he's bad. So it's fun on the
Interesting.
job. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, you did touch upon this point that we were meaning to get to. Losing weight or varying weight in such short durations. This happens with boxers who have to participate in a weight category. How
Yeah.
do you do that?
Well, imagine going without water for 24
Yeah.
hours. It's like fasting, and you can ask the ladies, the mothers, and the wives out there how difficult that is. No water,
Yeah.
okay? No carbohydrates.
Hmm.
Okay, food has to be limited as well because there would be different foods that would lead to weight gain. That would lead to water retention. Then I'm talking about no
Bloating and
salt.
all that.
Yeah, no
No
salt at
salt.
all.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they feel
These
thirsty,
bodybuilders also
without,
do that when they go for competitions. They cut
yeah,
down on water and salt, I think. Hmm.
that helps basically remove water from the muscles. And for people who are in bodybuilding, that helps them give them more
Definition.
definition.
Yeah. Okay, that's something that I did know before, but what comes to mind is that this is, I mean, till what extent do you bring the body to? I mean, you cut down on water, you cut down on salt, but your body might reach a point where it's life-threatening. So how do you assess that?
It is life threatening, but then the profession demands it. So what we do is ideally, if there are 4 to 5 kilos, for example, that need to be dropped, we do it over a period of a few days. There could be circumstances like this one where
Hmm.
we are, I mean, hell bent on getting them to their weight just so that they can fight. Because see, the opponent will agree. See, at the end of the day, it is up to the opponent. If he wants, he can agree to the opponent
Huh.
being 1 or 2 kgs extra. But trust
Sure.
me, you want guy to be 2 kgs extra and pack
No.
30 kgs more in his punch.
No, definitely
You
not.
don't want that happening because they
Yeah.
get 24 hours to recover also. So, for
Okay.
example, in the 80 kg welter, if then welter is 75 kilo, if then the
76, I think.
75 kg category,
What?
76, right? 76 kg category, we'd get them to an 80 or 82 before their fight.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the 5 kgs that we've lost, we help them regain those 5 kgs within 24 hours again.
So
Because they
they are
that.
back to their peak performance after doing whatever they did to weigh in.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how the business is. That's how the industry works.
Interesting.
And
Vaibhav,
just a
this has
couple of
been,
things I'll add before we finish
yeah,
this topic. And then
sure.
they basically they wear things like raincoats and they run for 5, 5, 6 hours so that they sweat excessively, and they sit in saunas. So that's how we get them to that. Uh,
Okay.
it's
So
it's
there is some
traumatic
truth
for them.
about, yeah, of course. Everyone would have seen that one person in the gym who's in the peak of summer wearing, a tracksuit and he's all covered just sweat a lot and
Yes.
with an aim to lose weight. Does that even
Yeah.
work?
Yeah, it works. Obviously,
Okay.
it will work. But then you
No,
have to do it in this regimented way, wherein you don't drink
huh.
water also, you don't take salt, you
Correct.
don't
Correct.
take
So
carbohydrate,
you
and then you
sweat,
lose
and the
sweat.
moment
So
you
obviously,
consume water, sorry, go on.
no, that's fine. That's fine. Go on. I'm done.
Yeah, I was saying that you lose that weight because you sweat so much, but when you drink water again because the body demanded it, you gain it back, right? So in effect, like you said, unless you're regimenting it, you will come back to what you were.
You will. That's why I always speak about not chasing the weight.
Hmm.
Technically, if you see what are these fighters doing, they're also chasing weight.
Huh. But for a
It's not the
purpose.
right practice, but they have to do it. The profession demands it. It's not
Correct.
good for their organs. It's not good for their brain. It's very harmful. These people don't have very long careers. They peak very quickly and they fall very
Yeah.
quickly, and their bodies are not able to sustain all the stress that they give
It's like
themselves.
it's like fast bowlers also.
Yeah,
They get
exactly.
spent so fast. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, they don't have a career like the batsmen, for example, do. It's always much more difficult for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. In our next session to our viewers, we're trying to we touched upon the topic of traveling and how you tend to get out of your regimented routine, and hence your body and your health gets affected. We're trying to bring a travel expert and speak to them about how to manage this, or also understand their travel stories. Vaibhav, we've got a lot of information from you and a lot of myths busted. I was taken aback from a lot of things. So before we end, I want to ask you to add something that might be helpful for the viewers and the general public who are aspiring to get fitter in lives, get more healthy in general.
Uh, Practice mindfulness. Discipline is very important.
Mm.
You don't have to go to the gym, for example. There's a
Right.
lot you can do at home. You can play a sport. Uh, you can cycle. You can swim. There's a lot you can do. So a lot of people really pressurize themselves that they need to go to the gym, and unless they do that, they can't get results.
Mm-hmm.
No. And similarly, you don't need to constantly eat your boiled chicken, for example, and only your salad. No. Carbohydrates are your friend. We need to eat carbohydrates. They're not the culprit. Depending on the kind of activity one does, be it light, moderate, or extreme. I'm talking about something simple as a jog to something like a marathon, or maybe if you're playing professional sport. Okay, so we
Mm-hmm.
cover the entire strata from low to high intensity activity. If you'll ever dig into your books and your research journals, you'll see that the carbohydrate content always has to be very high. It would vary anywhere
Mm.
between 40% to up to 80%,
Right.
depending on what activity you do. And then secondary would be fat, and third is protein. So tell me, where does the whole protein fiasco come into the picture? It's not there. It doesn't exist. But
Sure.
that's something that makes the companies make the big bucks, right?
Mm.
Having said that, if one is undernutrition, if they are underweight, then the use of these protein supplements can be very beneficial for sure.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So practice mindfulness. Just be disciplined. Eat in a timely manner. Eat your homemade food. Be physically active as well. Sleep well. Laugh a lot. Spend some good quality time with your people, with your friends.
Coming from a sports nutrition expert, we take that advice.
It's not as complicated as it seems, honestly. You can live life very simply as well. I eat my regular homemade food on a daily basis, right? I love my paratha as well. There's nothing wrong with it if it's made the right way, if you know which oil needs to be used,
Mm.
what ingredients need to go into it. I love my simple dal, sabzi, roti, rice. There's nothing wrong with it.
Mm.
But we just need to know how much we need to eat, when we need to eat it, and what all you need to do to facilitate, optimum performance if you're looking to play a sport, or
Right.
even if you're a good gym goer.
Mm.
So, like, just set. You can note a few things as to how you can maintain discipline, and then
Mm.
take it from one step at a time. If you try to do too much together, chances are that one might not be able to succeed. So take it
Sure.
one step.
We would take that advice, but just because our viewers have been very kind, they've stuck around with us for good 40 minutes. We're going to take one question from our viewers,
Yeah,
if
sure.
you would permit. Okay, so this is Trilokya asking, I am a defense aspirant. How can I increase my body weight as well as fitness, as I am a civilian and I don't play any games? I did not play any games in my younger days.
Hmm. Okay. So I hope he is prepared for the grueling training that he is about to undertake. Because if he's not participated in sports previously, I think he's going to have his work cut out. So I think he should start, participating in. I mean, he can't swim right now, but he should start hitting the park for some jogs and body weight exercises. should start cycling a little bit. And as far as the food is concerned, for now, don't. I mean, the traditional Indian would do one thing regularly in order to gain weight, and it is usually drink lots of milk, eat lots of paneer, and have the banana shakes, for example. A lot of people have in the past. They never help you gain weight. I already highlighted the ill effects of the protein that is present in the milk.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? So eat your normal Indian vegetarian food. He should eat a lot of nuts, for example. Okay, nuts are foods that are rich in basically protein and fats. And if he needs to gain weight, which I think he's right, he's someone who can actually opt for protein supplements, but of a plant-based nature, not whey protein supplements.
Not
Never.
soy or whey, plant.
Not soy, not whey, no, not at all. Plant-based supplements that are soy and gluten-free.
Vaibhav, you also run a company that makes nutritional products. Take a minute and tell us about it.
So I founded my brand called Pure Size. You can just share the logo at least.
Okay.
So we basically play on the terms pure and precision. So we basically have a range of about 20 items, which are nutrition supplements. They're all 100% natural and vegan in nature.
Okay.
Even our capsules are vegetarian, unlike the market offers, which is those gelatin capsules. And we have some daily essential items like your cooking oil. We have an apparatus to help make your water alkaline. This is very, very important, by the way. This is something we miss out a lot on. Drinking alkaline water, for example, for athletes, improves their recovery time.
I've heard that, yes.
Yes, improves their recovery time. It reduces inflammation in the muscles. It improves muscle growth as well, and it improves your cardiovascular performance. Trust me, these are all the things an athlete dreams of having all in one.
Absolutely. And these must be things that you would have experienced yourself also. You mentioned earlier that you were experiencing a lot of injuries and recovery time.
Yes, it's taken years to develop these things, come up with these things, depending on the best practices that are existing in the world, whatever the research tells us. So drinking water that is of a high pH helps us do that. For people suffering from other disorders, for example, this can help regularize your insulin response. Great for diabetics. Ladies who are suffering from metabolic issues, it's great to get your hormones, balanced. People suffering from liver-related issues, digestion, alkaline water is very important because you're drinking RO water most of the time and it's acidic in nature. So Pure Size basically was a brainchild of 5-6 years of constant practice and research. I've come up with ingredients that are aimed at giving best results to people. It's not about selling a product. So, for example, I came up with this omega-3. Now, generally, you would think of an omega-3 as one that is of a fish, is made from fish oil.
Yeah,
but people don't know that the original source of omega-3 is not fish. The original source of omega-3 is basically the DHA that is present in microorganisms that grow in our moist environments.
Oh.
People have seen those microorganisms, the algae that grows on water, stagnant water. Those are organisms that are rich in DHA, rich in omega-3. It's just that the fish, they feed on those microorganisms, and the fish become the middleman to provide us.
Right.
So when you get fish
and the
oil,
middleman provide us the omega-3 made of the fish that eats the algae.
So we don't need the fish. We don't need to kill the fish.
We don't need the middleman.
We don't need the middleman. And the same goes with eating the meat. Tell me, the strongest animals that are there on the planet, the horses, the rhinoceros, the gorillas, the apes, they're all vegetarian. No one tells them to do meats and extra whey proteins, right? So we have things, so my omega-3 is made from flaxseed oil. That's the second best source of fuel. Then we have a lot of supplements that are formulated for diabetics, for example. There is a mixture of different ingredients like curcumin, which is turmeric, lycopene, cinnamon, aloe vera. So we formulated different ingredients in different proportions. So people suffering from diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, hypertension, PCOD, there's something for everyone. And and I mentioned the water, I mentioned the oil. So all of these things can be viewed by people if they want on our website.
Sure.
It's
guys, do check Precise. That's the name.
It's Pure Size.
Pure Size, sorry. Please go check out Pure Size.
PURE.
This is not an
Yeah.
advertisement. I think this is good for your health. So just go check it out at least. I think it would make sense. With that, Vaibhav, I would like to thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Some very, very relevant points discussed. The viewers have stuck around, so which is testament to the fact that it was a good session. We do not, need any more assertions than that. Thank you very much, and wish you all the best.
You too, Shikhar. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.